Hello team. So we're at the global whatever the GVS show now for the veterinary show locally in Shanghai. It's a little boring because it's pretty quiet and very low for the traffic. So Rina and I were taking the time now for just a videotape the whole thing here and all the new exhibits we're just presenting on this show. Let me start from the miniature version of the kennel. Okay, as usual, we just displayed all the existing features with all the magnetic double latching. Now it's mature, it's very reliable. And the swiveling door for the feeding purpose. Okay, miniature. And also the guillotine door on the rear end. But the new feature is we have added all the coverage cover on the back of this counterbalance for the weight counter, and also the top portion of the guillotine door, which did not exist before. That's for the very safe consideration to see the dog will not be, jammed over there on the top portion of the guillotine door in the motion. And also for the connector, for the L-shaped connector, now the fully going from the top to the bottom, fully cover the whole merged joint seam in between the left and the right panel, and also the rear end. Also, we displayed all the features for the different selections of the enclosure panels. We have the solid sensor steel, and also we have the FRP, the fiberglass reinforced panel, and also we have the PVC. This one has a very versatile and a very wide selection for all the patterns and the textures. And also we have the very traditional and classic HDP, the high density polyesters. A new feature we just added in are three things. First of all, for the sealing, usually we use all the silicone caulking to caulk all in between the glass and the seams. But now we just have a new mold made from rubber. So that's like a composite. Half is rubber for the soft and half is a PVC for the hard portion. So this one is fully squeezed into the U channel, and that's going to stop water leaking into the U channel, so there's no molding, no stagnant water into the sea. Okay, that's a new feature. And also another new feature here is for the transfer door for the socialization purpose. Once I push back there, that's going to push it to the very end and get locked. We pre-made a slot here for the cut out. Okay, so let's drop in, that's locked here, I'm touching. Okay, and also for the double locking purpose, you can drop off this latch for the double locking. You take it off, okay, you can release it and fully open. Also for the touching portion, the handle has been fully rubberized. That's very comfortable. Thirdly is this one. For usually, we just have this heavy pole for holding all the infusion bags and all the infusion pumps. So for the real world, all the nurse and the vet techs, they can set up all their preparation to set all the drugs or the speed on the pumps along with their desk, okay? And then just take the whole bar over and hook onto the kennel. So that's finished. Just trigger the button, go. Or they can just turn around and go to all the cages. They can still use the same thing on the cages in the near future for the cage to be adapted. And in the future, we can also go on to the tabletop. On the sideway of the tabletop, we're going to make another holder as a new bracket to hold it temporarily in the transportation for that purpose. So that's a new ecosystem. For that every post, that's going to hold all the bags, fluid bags and pumps closely, and transport and go around kennel, cage, all the enclosures, and the transportation tables and operation tables. That's a new ecosystem, all in one coverage. Let's go back to the kennel. So we just displayed all the new features, and this one just became very mature, what we call the Therian latch, which is under the help of Therian, our Australian partner, for this latch. And also there's a double way opening, meaning you can still just open that from the inside to let yourself out. But we have a full coverage here, so dog or the naughty dogs cannot penetrate their paws in to lift up. It's only human could be very dedicated to lift up from inside and let themselves out. And for the tolerance adaptance, we have both for the horizontal and for the vertical way to be adjusted. So for the final a few millimeter touch, you can adjust both this one and this one to have a very nice and perfect match for the alignment. Okay, that's all the features on the new kennel system. But this one is open. for UK, for Germany, for all our like branches and partners, we can give you this one as a ready-to-use solution, as a miniature but very informative demo. You can just travel around. This one have a full consideration. You can just easily put into 34 inches luggage suitcase, so to travel around with you. And regarding this one, that's a new type of the what we call the 509 new, the suffix N, 509N cage. Two small drop into two mediums, okay? Two mediums drop into the one large after removing the central column. So in the real world shipping, the two small, two medium, and the two large are going to be combined into one big wooden crate. So you are using 1/3 of the transportation shipping fee to overall shipping all the things, for the 6 compartments, one large, two medium, two smalls. And also when we get closer, you can see what we call the white version. We have included this seamless collection tray for taking all the urine and all the debris, whatever, all the fluid. And also we have this folding edge. That's a fully one piece and it's not welded. There's a folding back edge. This lip is really one piece of all the upper portion. So there's no seam at all. There's no polishing at all either. So it's a very seamless and very safe to get back all the fluids into the collection tray. Okay, so we call this one WET, the wet version. Without that, we call that a dry version. And the new feature we just displayed here is a quick removal for the doors. Okay, if the customer wants to put into the restraint cage or just oxygen cage or something else, they can just uplift and remove the whole door as one assembly and put onto the acrylic doors for the oxygen enclosure very easily. So the new version, too small, too medium, too large, will be launched very soon. And also that's going to be a grand launch by Becca to Pet Edge, to Ryan's Pet, to all the job shipping customers in the States. That's going to trigger a new wave of big sales. Just like we just discussed, that's a restraint cage. We know all the features. So when we get closer, you can see we also have like a new heavy pole holding the bags and nutrition pumps, which can be extended into a longer pole. And also you can see the new features. You can just squeeze the can over. And also that's a new knob. You can just uplift and suspend the whole thing at any portion, any height you want. You can also take the whole litter box roughly. And by just pulling against you, toward you, you can squeeze all the uncontrollable stray cats or something toward you for the injection, vaccination, whatever you want to operate on the animals. So that's a restraint cage, 509 RES. And that's the light cage. Now we have 4 light sources. Okay, now we have the infrared in the middle. That's a FEP like a glass. That's for the transparency of all the UV light to be fully penetrated through the FEP glass. And we have the Blu-ray, as you know, that's slowing down the secretion of melatonin. And the other one, the white light for exam purpose, and infrared. And this infrared is going to accelerate and help the more stimulate all the secretion of melatonin. So the red light and blue light is going to give you the artificial control and the regulation of their cycles for sleeping. And we're trying to upgrade everything, it's finished already, to make all the control box, power box, the transformer and the light panel to be all modular made. Meaning in the future, if something happens, you just unscrew these 2 bolts, take out the whole control box, detach all the cable on the back, replace the whole thing as one assemble. And this fuse is also going to change and control the whole power supply to the LED panels. The LED panel is another module you can just unplug and put on a new one for the replacement purpose. And also we have the 4-in-1 like a control transformer box, meaning it's one cable into one transformer and split it into 4 lines to control and power supply to 4 different units, or one large with 2 rooms. One large, 2 medium, or just 4 mediums could be controlled and power supplied by one transformer. Transformer, LED panel box, and control box. Only 3 modules combined into one system. And on this one, as we have discussed last time, we have the ventilation control by spinning this panel, or you can just open the whole door as our SCUs. You can do the operation like this closely without leaking and losing the concentration of the precious oxygen. Magnetic latch, open, harder. It's a soften. Yeah. A bit. And the removable quick release for the IV post. Spinning for the regulation of the ventilation. And also we have a quick fitting for the DIS fitting for the oxygen inlet. Still, we're keeping all the old features for the IV lines to come in for the infusion and the draining of all the urine collection too. Still, you can monitor humidity and the temperature. Okay, we have the hygrometers and the thermometer built in already. So that's the interchangeable. And also we can put on to the other type of the hinge on the 509 new version so that they are more interchangeable. And we're looking at a large cage at the bottom. So that's also like a show demo basic version we just showed on the London Vet Show. With the one bank of the cage, you can see the 1601 lighting cage, 509 the basic cage, and also restraint cage. So you can see all the information on one small demo unit. Okay, this one has been very popular and very favorite in on the London Vet Show. To say we have the regulation of the infrared light. Customer came here to say what's the main purpose of making this cage. I think the best definition is a recovery cage. It's better for stimulation of their metabolism, their recirculation, and help a faster recovery like a post-surgery treatment. So this one, the infrared bulb is going to penetrate with the infrared light into their skin and their skin and into their muscle system. So that's a very dramatically help for their recovering like a process. Also, we still have this door like this for all the features we just displayed and introduced. And also we have the temperature control here for the thermometer. Can accurately control all the in-house temperature generated heat by the bulbs here. Okay. Also, we have your power supply. You can plug in all the monitors, infusion pumps, everything you want to mount onto the cage. Still, we provide 1 large and 2 medium as a basic configuration. You can still just customize all the combinations as you wish. And the one power supply box for the air breaker, you can just switch on to turn on the power to all the 4 units or just switch off here. Okay? Here has been a very popular choice for all the cat combos. Seamlessly, it's made from acrylic reinforced fiberglass. There's no seam anywhere, very easy to wipe off and keep it clean and hygienic. And also this one is aligned with over 3,600 square centimeters. So that's qualified according to the criteria from SFM to be a silver standard over 24 hours observatory cage. Okay, and also naturally it's noise dampened and thermal neutral. Still, we're adding all the features we introduced on the other cage: magnetic latch, small opening door, regulation of ventilation, infusion pump like a quick bar release, portals, and oxygen inlet is all maintained and kept on this door. Besides, we have all the big bars. You can hold on all the swivelable, like all the bars of holding the infusion pumps if something is needed. And also you can just power it on and plug in all the power supplies to all your devices. Still, that's more advanced. We have the USB and the Type-C power supplies. You can also charge your phone. Okay, so that's a very basic combination with the 4 cages combined into 1 unit. And also we have the storage for all the cat belongings, for their toys, food, whatever you want to put into the chambers. There we go. Okay, so that's a cat cage. And regarding there, we have the full display for the 3 aligned new tables. So according to the German, like the new, what we call the BG, for the like a Gehaltsbahnhof, the new regulation of the safety department's requirements, all the electric lifting mechanisms need a single emergent stop button. Like now, I'm stepping on the pedal, it's dropping down gradually, but once I hit the button, that's going to stop the motion immediately. You have to pull up and twist to release it, to be re-engaged back to working active motion. Okay, so that's going down to 22 centimeters as a very ultra low feature, and also all the wheels are based on the like a double wheel. So even you go over all the grassland temporarily, all the bumpers, there's no damage. Super heavy duty. And also that's we have lowered that center of gravity to make it even stabler and stronger in all the transportation process. Along the long edge, we have 3 brackets holding animals, and here we have another 2 cleats for holding animals. Easily for maneuvering, for pushing around, we have the 2 heavy-duty bars, solid 12mm half-inch bars for pushing around and maneuver easily. And you can still do that for the easy release, quick release, infusion bars like we discussed. In the future, that's going to be not even a knob needed. You just plug in and go, even easier. Even you just run into all the door frames or something, bumping into the obstacles, this guidance wheel is like a barrier. It's going to push away immediately to keep all your furniture and facility safe. So that's a fantastic a transportation and a quick treatment exam table, what we call the 861 BG. Here, that's our first so-called hydraulic mobile transportation table. Previously, we only have all the electric lifting mechanisms, but this one has combined all the new features. We have very big wheels, so you can just roll around very easily. And the wheels actually can be locked, from 3 motions. Can be fully locked, or just middle locked. Middle locked meaning you can go back and forth in the straight line, but you cannot omnidirectional maneuver around. Or fully locked here, middle lock, or fully relieved. Okay, that's released. So that's 3 positions. And here is an adjustable head for the for the hydraulic pump instead. That's a little harder. So that's the first hydraulic version for the exam and the transportation table. On that new technical platform, we can generate a lot more features, a lot more solutions in that way. And that's a rubber mattress. You can fully, easily remove like this. The 2 clips, take it off, and put it back. Very easy. And also we have a cleats all around on the border with the 2 or 3 on the long line and the 2 on the shorter end. Also the bumper barrier for the guidance wheel are mounted. And here, Becca is going to see this one finished. Excited? So that's a stretcher table. You can fully put on all the stretchers for the transportation and the holding purpose. Very easily. Only 17 pounds for the whole overall weight. Very light and very comfortable for the transportation. I can even just lift up with 1 finger like this. Super light, right? Besides, that's a new version. That's an MRI compatible. For the whole thing, even this stretcher, there's nothing ferromagnetic, meaning there's no steel component. So we're using everything either made from plastic or aluminum, or just a rubber, or just sponge, everything, or just plastic, nano. So you press the button, release it to close, or just spread like this. Press the button 1 more time, release it. So that's our first MRI compatible transportation table in this industry. We call this one 836 MRI as a suffix, referring to the MRI compatible table. New feature, very neatly made. Okay, partners, I think that's overall what we are going to present to you on this GVS show. And maybe later on we have some more time. We can share some new features on the ICUs later.